How you going, people? Man, this is a good one. Cops did pretty good. Very chaotic. Anytime you get things where multiple people are armed and you have children and it's a home invasion, these are tough calls to respond to. So this might be a long one because it's a pretty long video and there's a lot of things going on that I'll try and give you kind of the back door. Basically, there was 5 people in a house that were tied up, and these 3 suspects here took a day off from going to med school and decided to attack a family and tie up the family. The little girl was able to hide in the bedroom, which is pretty cool. And I think she was hiding with her 17-year-old sister, and they end up calling the cops and getting the cops outside. So let's take a look at this video. And it gets kind of chaotic and crazy. And of course, it's kind of a PR a little bit because the PD gets to select what's going on and what they're going to release, and they cut to different video cameras. But you kind of get the gist of it, and I think overall they did pretty well. So this was one newscast that just gave a real quick briefing on this and didn't say a whole bunch, except they promoted government's good, government showed up and saved the little girl.
3 armed men.
Show me your hands! Show me your hands! Get down on the ground now! You got it? Got it? Now watch your back! Watch your back!
The homeowner's 19-year-old daughter called 911 saying she and her 7-year-old sister were hiding and that their parents were tied up in the garage. After capturing the suspects, deputies found the little girl under a chair in her bedroom.
We wanted to give you a present for being a really strong girl tonight, okay? So we got a purple little My Little Pony for you, all right?
Deputies giving the little girl a toy, praising her bravery. Authorities believe the home was targeted. An investigation is underway. Scary.
No shit, it was targeted. It was targeted because they had a nice home and they worked hard and they were doing the right thing. And then you had these other people run around crying that they're the victim and everybody owes them and how we should support. And I can't go to freaking any channel or any newscast without blasting Black Lives Matter in my face. But you won't see this on the Black Lives Matter poster, child. Okay, so here we go. It starts off with a 911 call.
911, where's your emergency?
Please, they just broke into my house. They have guns. Please, they're in my house. My mom's crying.
Okay, I need you to stay in your room, okay? But you don't have any idea how many people are there?
Mom, please, hurry, cops, please, they're here, please.
Do you know what kind of weapon it is that they have? Like, is it a rifle or anything?
Okay, so the little girls did good by hiding. So evidently they were taught, or they weren't taught, and it was just survival. Maybe the 17-year-old was taught. Maybe the little kid freaking hid, the 17-year-old followed her. Ain't no telling. But look, anytime you can teach your children that hiding and creating distance is much better than coming out and forcing or you know, trying to get in somebody's face or trying to help is not a good thing. They can probably help by staying hidden so you can concentrate on your tactics, your plan of action, on what you're going to do, and then you don't have to worry about children. If your children's there, it's going to distract you. But if you can make your kids believe that, then that's a good thing. I was a little wondering why they went up and knocked on the door. When I first... Look, when you go to a home invasion or you go to domestic violence, the standard thing is you approach secretly, you don't park in front of the house, you don't announce that you know there's people in danger, they're in there hiding. You don't want to give up that element of surprise. So you want to surprise them, and you want to have the element of surprise so you can overwhelm them with dominating force, you know, whatever you have to do to surprise them so they're not ready and they're not waiting. So the fact that the officer walked up and knocked on the door, I was kind of like, what the hell are you doing, dude? And then he knocked on the door and he backs away. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe his plan was if I knock on the door, they'll answer it. When they don't see anybody, they'll get spooked and run out and we can stop them. But I still don't know why he walked up and knocked on the damn door.
Looks like there's some sort of fight going on. Something.
So this guy's looking through the window and he says, there's some sort of fight going on. Dude, the call is a home invasion, armed people, and they've got people tied up and you've got a little girl in the room. To me, this is more of an immediate action if you got force. It looks like they have, I'm going to say, at least 10 cops there, because there's cops coming everywhere when it goes down. So they have enough cops there. The problem is, do you go in and make it worse? Do you go in and maybe risk the life? Do you wait for them to come out? Do you try to trick them out? Do you hopefully just wait outside and hopefully they won't kill anybody and they'll just leave? I mean, the problem with waiting is a lot of home invasion. If they think you saw their face, they're going to kill you and execute you before they leave. So, you know, fighting back and not being a good victim, I think, is the worst advice that you could ever get. But government will always tell you, be a good victim, wait for us. Because they don't want you defending yourself or thinking, so you'll need government. If you need government, then you won't be a fool and complain when they raise your taxes and say, we need more government, we need more of this, we need more of that. You'll be like, oh, okay, I guess I do, because I'm a dummy and I just listen to you. But anyway, very hard situation to kind of tell how to handle this.
What's going on in here? They're ripping shit up. I see people, they're trying to like...
So I'm at a home invasion. I'm standing right outside the window pointing. Most people are right-handed. This guy's pointing with his right hand. Why isn't his gun out? Why would you be standing in front of the window to where they could possibly see you and then go, the cops, kill everybody? I mean, what? I don't understand the tactics on this point. First he knocks on the door. Now he's standing outside the window talking, narrating. Oh, they're tearing things up. Looks like one of them's got a gun.
It's like they're rummaging things with backpacks in the living room. There's a gun in his hand for sure.
To me, at this point, this guy needs to be on the radio in a low voice saying, I'm looking in the window. I see 3 suspects, 2 suspects, 1 suspect wearing so-and-so. We have 1 suspect, black male, red shirt, black sweatpants. He's armed with an AK. I have a 2nd suspect. He should be putting out information so when shit goes sideways, cops that are surrounding the place will at least have an idea who they're looking for.
Get behind cover.
Now he decides to start telling other people to get behind cover. Still pointing with his right hand, no gun.
1-2 corner. There's guns in this corner, bro. Like the one guy there with backpacks. Right. He had a rifle.
Man, this guy's just, he's feeling pretty safe to walk. Now, I've walked by windows before, and I've got intel because when you're inside and the lights are on, as long as it's dark outside and you're not backlit, they won't see when they look out of a lighted room into the dark. It just looks dark. So you're pretty safe. But all it takes is one cop to walk up behind you, which has happened many times, and they come up behind you with a freaking flashlight, and I'm like, dude, turn your light off. You just silhouetted the shit out of me. So you need to be careful. You can't control what other cops do. So when you put yourself in front of a window with armed people that are already committing a violent felony, they're tying people up, they have hostages, and you're in front of the window that if somebody backlights you, you're freaking a good target.
Rifle. A rifle? Yeah, it looks like an AK type thing.
Find some fucking cover if you can.
Yeah, we ain't got none. People on the perimeter, make sure you have hard cover.
Okay, hard cover versus soft cover. I think he should have said the suspects are armed with rifles. And that would have gave everybody a clue on what hard cover is. I mean, some guy, maybe, what's hard, maybe first time he heard hard cover, maybe they have a thing where we can get soft cover. To me, cover and concealment, a lot of people, I don't really care about definitions. Technically, concealment is just hiding. Cover is protection. Cover for a pistol can be smaller, lighter, and not as big and strong as cover for a rifle or for a missile or for a whatever. So when he says get hard cover, what he's trying to convey is they're armed with rifles and you're going to have rifle rounds. Don't expect to hide behind a brick wall because this rifle's going to chew it up. But he doesn't convey that they're armed with rifles. And he says later it's an AK. So I would say they're armed with high-powered rifles. They're armed with an AK. That's a 30 caliber, 7.62 round. That does some freaking damage. Okay? It's much worse than our M16 5.56 223 crap that everybody thinks is such a great round, especially out of a short barrel. But that's a different video. Here we go.
I saw what looked like 3 individuals in the living room, with one with a backpack and one looked like he had a small pistol rifle in his right hand. And there's
small pistol rifle. I saw 3 guys. He doesn't say 3 white males, 3 black males, 3 Hispanic males. You know, he doesn't say what they're wearing. He just says, I saw 3 with one with a gun. 3 suspects. What does that mean? We already know we have suspects. They're in a place. How about giving the people on a perimeter some sort of identification that they can look for?
Numerous amount of people crying. Hang on.
Show me your hands! Show me your hands! Drop the fucking...
So I don't know why they ran out, but for cops to be out there gathering intel, they did not take advantage of their surprise until the suspects decided to run out, and then they were like, holy shit. And luckily, these guys didn't shoot back. Because a lot of times when you surprise somebody and you start screaming, they turn and shoot. Just out of fear, if not out of just, you know, forethought of tactical, I'm not going to jail, I'm going to shoot. Sometimes they'll just turn and shoot out of fear.
Get down on the ground now! You got it? Got it? Now watch your back, watch your back! Watch the fucking garage. Don't fucking move. Right there, don't move.
Okay, very chaotic scene when you got people screaming. If you've ever gone to a stabbing or a home invasion where people are cut and they're screaming and they're running out, and you have people, everybody's pointing at everybody, and the victims are screaming, and the suspects are screaming at each other. It's the cops, and the cops are screaming, get out, get out! And you've got, this is a very tough situation. In a minute, you're going to have the victims come running out of the garage. And I'm really surprised these cops didn't shoot them. That's why I said they did a pretty good job overall. Now, obviously, it's a clue. If you go to a home invasion, normally, you pretty much take this to the bank. If people come out with their hands tied behind their back, they're probably the victim and not the suspect. However, if you know a bunch of people are in there and they know you're out there and they have time and planning, it's very easy for a suspect to tie his hands and fake his hands are tied and run out like a victim. So, you know, that's why in any SWAT training or any entry training, when we enter, everybody's a bad guy. Everybody gets handcuffed. I don't care who you are. We secure everybody till we figure out what's going on. So I don't have a problem with them grabbing people that their hands are tied and detaining them and controlling them. But they've got so many outstanding suspects. Outstanding meaning nobody's controlling them. Where the hell are they? We don't even know what they look like yet. They just come run out of the house. Now everybody's screaming. The suspects are screaming, the victims are screaming, and the cops are screaming. Not what I would call a controlled situation. But you know what? Shit happens. Deal with it.
Move! Put your gun down! Keep your hands behind your back!
Hands behind his back. Guy got him real quick. He targeted him. He did follow him.
Move! Put your gun down! Keep your hands behind.
So he starts tracking him, sees the hands behind his back, and goes back to the front. Second person comes out. Third person comes out, hands tied.
There's the pole! Shoot! Let me see your fucking hands! Hands! No! Get on the ground!
When I first heard this, that's a cop, by the way. That's your police officer.
Shoot! Let me see your fucking hands! Hands! No! Get on the ground! Get on the fucking ground! Don't fucking move! My daughter, please! Stay right there! Donnie, you got the back home?
This is called controlled chaos. You can't do much. All you can do is cuff and stuff everybody. Everybody you get, cuff them, tie them up. But see, you lose officers because normally when you cuff, you stay with the guy you cuff. That's your guy now. So if you have multiple suspects, you start losing officers quick because every time somebody grabs somebody, that person's out of the fight. So if you got 5 officers and 3 people come out and you grab them and you still have an insecure scene, you've only got 2 people left to control it. So this is one time where I agree that when you're dealing with multiple suspects in a home invasion, you want a lot of cops there. Sometimes a lot of cops may work a fusion. Sometimes it only takes 1 cop to shoot, and then everybody shoots. So there's inherent problems by having too many, not enough.
Your back. Hold the fuck on. Let's go. Let's go. Get on the fucking ground. Don't fucking move. Don't fucking
Show me your hands!
Let me see your hands.
Show me your fucking hands! Put them behind your back!
Man. Now, who thinks it's coincidence that all these people are wearing black? Now, this guy didn't get the memo about the neon shorts. dude, we got to wear black so when we run out at night, they can't see us. But dude, I love my neon pants. Okay, wear your neon pants to a freaking home invasion, and then when you get out there. Now, could this guy have shed his pants? Because a lot of times, crooks or career criminals will wear layered clothing. And that layered clothing is how they know that when cops put out descriptions, if you can lose the cop for a second, then you change your appearance. Then when a cop stops you, you can just go, why are you picking on me because I'm black? And then you start screaming that I'm not even dressed like the guy you're looking for. And, you know, so he could have already shed his pants like, dude, I was wearing black pants. As soon as I got out of the house, I took them off so they'll think I'm somebody else. Very tricky. These little pesky criminals can get tricky on you.
Back now! Find your fucking back!
Now, because it's at night and these people are wearing gloves, we kind of call that a clue. But Rick, maybe it's cold and maybe they got soft hands and maybe... Yeah, okay. If and buts and coconuts, I don't care. Everybody gets detained at a home invasion. I don't care if you're a neighbor being nosy. Guess what? If I see you snooping around the area, you get handcuffed too and thrown on the ground. Rick, you're a big jackhammer bootleg, whatever.
Don't fucking move! Don't fucking move!
I'm back here! I got one!
I got one too!
Hey, I need someone to come cover me while I cuff this guy. Erndale, get over here. Deputy Gray, where are you?
So again, we still have people yelling in the background. We still have uncontrolled scene. We still have outstanding suspects. Even though they have all three, they didn't know there was three. So until you clear and secure, you have outstanding suspects. You may have outstanding victims. They haven't found the little girl yet. So in a minute, they got to go in the house and clear the house, and they find the little girl. So they don't know how many people because the girl in the room said there was maybe 5. So when they first responded, we think we're looking for 5. Normally, you don't believe what somebody tells you. If they say 5, it could be 6. It could be 4. So you just kind of get, that gives a little, you know, something kind of to remember in the back of your head. That's what you're looking for. But basically what you're doing, everybody gets snagged and you clear and secure everything to make sure they either ran away and they're gone, or you have a safe operating environment so you can collect victims and start working a scene. You notice the parents ran out of the garage when they were handcuffed when they saw the cops? And it's like, get away, the cops are here. And they didn't stay for the little girl. They didn't go in the house and go for the little girl. Where's my little girl? They ran away. That's why they didn't get a pink pony like the little girl did at the end.
We're coming, we're coming. Where you at, Gray? They're back there. They're back there.
Notice the camera's changing. This was called transparency. Government wears cameras for transparency. Government controls footage. Government cuts footage and only releases what makes government look good. Welcome to tyranny, 2020.
Cover that door. Hey! Door. Come here. Come in. Get on the fucking ground. Don't fucking. I will fucking shoot. Where is he? Right here. I got my rifle hung up.
When this guy yells, I got my rifle hung up, that sucks. Now, that's another thing at the first part I was kind of like, dude, you're going to a home invasion. Remember, pistols are defensive weapons. Defensive in the way you usually use them to either fight to get to a better weapon or you use them in a situation to where you didn't have planning, you weren't hunting, you were caught off guard, and it's a defensive thing because it's lower power, etc. When you're going into a hunting or you're actually going into an armed encounter, you carry rifles, which is why when you see SWAT teams enter, they're usually going after armed suspects. They usually have rifles. It's more power. You have more firepower. You have more ability to damage in one-stop power. You got more velocity out of rifles. So when these guys showed up, and they didn't even have their pistols out. That one guy was pointing in the window, running around with no gun in his hand. But I was kind of shocked that everybody didn't have a rifle. If I'm going to anything armed, I got a rifle. If it's available, and if I can get it. Now, sometimes, you know, shit is a fan in the road, and I'm jumping out of the car and taking on, you know, a stolen vehicle or whatever, armed rifle. So I got my pistol. I don't have time to get my rifle. So you got to deal with it. But in this case, I thought they should have all been armed with rifles, personally.
Watch out. I'm trying to get over you.
However, the point I was trying to make when I got sidetracked, this guy says my rifle got hung up. That's the flip side to having a rifle. It's harder to clear buildings. It's harder to move if you got a longer barrel. You have slings. You have lights. You have more weight. You can't put it in a holster. You have to secure it. It ties up one hand. Again, yin and yang. And all good, there's some bad. And all bad, there's some good. That's the difference between pistols and rifles, and why having the option is nice. But, hey, there's downsides to both.
Put your hands in front of you. Put your hands in front of you. Keep a light on him. If you reach for anything, I'm going to shoot you in the fucking face. You understand?
So he threatened to kick him in the face. Who thinks that's, like, unfair and that's mean and this guy's a jackboot? I got no freaking problem with that statement. Look, when you're dealing with predators and violent criminals, you cannot be, please, kind citizen, don't move, because if you move, I will have to use other restraint tactics in order to detain you. That shit just doesn't work. Kindness is weakness in the hood. Kindness is weakness in prison. Kindness is weakness when you're dealing with predators who want to kill and hurt you and get away because you're about to take away their life and send them to prison. They have not much to lose, so you're just a thing in their path. And if you try and talk nice to them, you're usually become a victim. So kindness is weakness in the hood. I know all the liberals will tell you we need a kinder, we need to hug it out, we need to start reaching across the aisle. That's all stupid shit when they're running around their safe area. It don't freaking work when you're dealing with real bad guys.
Donnie, I got your back. All right.
Rick, they're not bad. You're just saying they're bad because they're black. Yeah, okay, that's push the narrative.
Give me a light. I need a light right here. I got it.
Can't be they're bad because they're tying up children and families and going in there with guns to where they're going to kill people just for some money and stealing shit because they don't have a job, because they're running around protesting during the day, Black Lives Matter, burning freaking cities, and now at night they just have a side job of home invasion.
Give me the other hand. Give me the other fucking hand. I'm going on back. Go. You got him? There's that rifle's right there.
I'll see it. Sir, do me a favor, go on the other side. My daughter's in the house.
Relax. Got it. Coming around.
Okay, this guy does a good job. I was wondering, I was like, dude, what the hell are you doing walking over a gate? And when he first did it, my mouth was like, dude, you don't walk around uncleared area when you got a bunch of cops and suspects without yelling. Again, a little yin and yang here. When you announce, you let the bad guy know you're coming and where you're at. When you don't announce, you surprise a cop who's trigger happy and he might shoot your ass. So anytime, and that's just our procedure. Y'all might have different procedures when you're out there working the street. When you go from one room to another, you announce clear coming out or coming in or coming around, or you really want who's ever around there. You don't want to. It's kind of like working with horses. You walk up behind a horse and just pet him and think you're going to pat him on the butt because he's a good horse, and you get kicked and you're surprised. Well, you know what? That's why you let a horse know when you're coming. You make sure he sees you, you acknowledge, so you don't surprise him. Same way when you're clearing buildings. You don't want to surprise people with guns on your team. So you announce. This guy does a good job announcing afterwards. I thought he kind of opened the gate when I first saw it. I was like, dude, you better freaking announce. You're walking around here, all these people with guns. And then he starts announcing.
Relax. Got it. Coming around. Coming around. Keep your eyes on the house. Keep guns pointed at the house. Where's our guys at? Back there. There's no...
So this guy talking, this Deputies Tusky or whatever, he seems pretty kind of tactical savvy. He's got a little experience in this because he's communicating. A lot of the uniform guys are just kind of standing around. I bet you this guy's in civilian clothes. Maybe he is in uniform. I don't know. But a lot of the guys are standing around, which is okay. They're holding a position. Look, my area of responsibility is door. I'm holding the door. There's no reason for me to talk. So this guy comes around. He's communicating well. He's a little bit more tactical savvy. He's kind of pointing out areas that aren't cleared. He's pointing out weaknesses. So I'm okay with this guy. Some people may think that he's a little, you know, too much type A or too much of a meat eater. I'm okay with him.
Back corner. Bill, you good?
Not okay with the gangster stance, but whatever. Okay, he's pretty far behind him. The problem with this is if this guy gets shot at, he's going to go this way, which means he's moving in your line of fire. So he either needs to be closer to this guy or he needs to be farther in angle so this guy can't move in his way. But if you're going to stand next to somebody, you need to be next to them. You don't want to be next and behind somebody. For one, you may go behind him for cover, which is you're in a position of advantage, which is why you don't want to be the dummy in front. And if somebody gets behind you, you need to back up and say, I'm not going to be in front of you. So this is a joint tactical decision that everybody needs to be responsible for. And sometimes people get either hyper-vigilant or hyper-focused and tunnel vision. So somebody needs to look around and go, I don't want to be in front of you. This guy says, I don't want you in front of me. I don't want to shoot you. I don't want to shoot you. Well, then let's do something to prevent an accidental shooting instead of doing what they're doing here. Bad position. In my opinion.
We're holding the house. You guys good back there in the backyard?
Yeah, we got 2 secure. Hey, we got 2 back here. Try and debrief the family and find out how many we got outstanding.
Cover? No, we don't got shit.
Finally, he moves up, a little bit better position. Now, if this guy moves in front of him, it will hit his arm and it will knock his gun out of the way. Now, the problem with this, when he shoots, he's going to have his ear right here, which is why it would probably be better if both guns were in the same position, both guns in front of both people in the same position, and you're shoulder to shoulder. Nobody can run between you. Now, yin and yang. Problem with that is you make a wall and it's easier for a suspect to shoot. And if you got 4 cops lined up in a wall, he's just got to shoot in a general area and hit somebody left or right, even if he misses. So, you know, again, tactics is one of those fluid things to where you're always adjusting. You're always thinking good, bad, what can I change? How do I modify? You know, modify on the fly. Got to keep doing something.
All right, there's supposed to be a 7-year-old girl in there. So, Wiki, I need you to assemble. Where are you, Siggy?
Now, this may look like it's a short time, but these cops know there's a kid inside. You have multiple people. You think suspects are out. You're running around. You've heard all the screaming. You still don't know if there's somebody coming out with a gun or not. And when you're holding a gun up like that, with that tense, usually white knuckling because your heart rate's up, you're in a little bit of fight or flight, man, it gets very, that gun becomes very heavy. You're like, shit, man. So many times on calls, you know, I have to drop the gun and start moving those elbows to get some blood flow back in your hands and elbow and then get back on target. So you need to pick the time to do that when there's a lull. Like I said, if you're not shooting, you should be looking for cover, moving to cover, or reloading. If you're not doing any of those, then you ought to be shooting, engaging, or gaining some sort of advantage.
He's saying 4 or 5 guys.
We have 3 accounted for, or?
Who's over there?
I don't think there's anybody over there.
One coming.
Who?
I don't think anybody's over there.
Backyard, but we think there's some outstanding. Yeah, they're saying 4 to 5, so hold what you got.
Another problem with these calls, you got a lot of officers with a lot of information. Everybody's trying to update each other. You still don't have a secure. Any radio traffic that's not mandatory right now shouldn't be on the air. The only radio traffic or air traffic you ought to be hearing right now is essential to clearing and locking down this house. All this other minutia doesn't matter. Is the house secure? Do we have the people? Get me a freaking Congo line. Get me, you know, stack up me 3 or 4 people and start clearing. You know, normally in something like this, if a sergeant was there or something, if we were on a task force, you know, the sergeant may go, look, what do we got? We got 3 in custody, blah, blah, blah. We still haven't cleared the house. We got to clear the house. You know, the sergeant be like, Ricky, grab Frankie and whoever and enter the house and clear it. Okay. So I grab a couple guys. We stack up. You ready? Let's go. Police! Police! Hands up. We're coming in. Show us your hands. Even though sometimes I may stop at the door and fake the dog because dogs kind of scare people out. Police department, we have a dog. K9, if you don't come out, we're releasing the dog. Last chance, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes they will give up. Doesn't happen a lot, but every once in a while it tricks some people out. You know, a lot of cops be like, man, why are you saying a dog? There ain't even a dog here. Because I'm trying to trick them out, you big dummy. They don't know I don't have a dog. So anyway.
I hear a gun. Back up. Hang on, I hear what sounds like a gun cocking in the back 3 side of the house. What?
Okay, so hearing a gun cock is kind of a odd thing because most cops don't cock their gun. I mean, maybe there's a female out there that didn't carry a round in her chamber. She just put one in her chamber. I don't know. But normally, when we hear guns cocking, it's normally not other cops. Normally.
Watch this window.
Takes me back to where I had a male and female partner I was training at the range. One carried a 9mm, one carried a 40. And they switched the magazines, and the 9mm had the 40 in it, 40. And they go, oh, we cleaned them together, and we must have put them in. Ha, 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 ha. I was like, really? You freaking idiots are running around with the wrong freaking ammo in your gun? Funny thing is, the 40 fired the 9. Anyway.
Is there anybody at the 2-3 corner of the house? If so, we have a crossfire. You need to move. Okay,
he's thinking ahead. He's letting know 2-3 corner. Normally, you get a house that 1, 2, 3, 4. I've done a diagram of that so you know on what points to take. Normally, you take 1 and 3 or 2 and 4. That gets you opposite. So these guys are on one position, so they can clear this wall and they can clear the wall going this way. And if you have a guy on the other side of the house, they can clear this back wall and they can clear the front of the house. So you can secure a house with 2 people. He's asking if you got somebody here on this corner because that's where he heard the gun at. I still don't know what he heard. Could have heard a branch break. Somebody could have dropped a gun, and when it dropped it, it racked around. And the cop didn't want to say it, so he picked his gun up. Or maybe he didn't hear him say, hey, man, somebody over there, I heard a gun, because he didn't really challenge. But, you know, that could happen.
No, there should be
No one's there. We have a gate.
again, we heard what sounded like a gun cocking at the 3 side.
Copy.
Who's got that window? Stay on that window.
Grab that window.
Keep the light on it.
Okay, so he saw that there was a window uncovered, and he was concerned about that because anytime he's looking around, he's like, shit, I'm watching this door, but I'm kind of concerned somebody jumping out of this window. Nobody's on the window. So he finally gets the guy on the window and says, keep a light on it. So we'll see if somebody comes out. And now he's got this door. There's no point in two of you having here with an open window. So I'm okay with this guy kind of redesigning or redesignating areas of responsibility or focus points.
What's up, homie?
Grab the shield. Somebody.
All right.
No, someone else. You.
So somebody brought him a shield, and now he's going to use the shield.
Ready?
Yeah, where are we headed?
Stand by.
We got a window right here on the left.
Who else are we
here?
Campbell's here with a rifle.
Charlie 61 Sierra K9 as well. Can you second us?
Campbell, come up here with me.
Hold on. My camera's turned off. All right.
You ready?
Yeah.
Move up slow. Get, hold.
Stay behind me.
Get off the radio.
Okay, so he doesn't really explain why to get off the radio. He just says that, and other people are like, who the fuck are you, man? I'm saying something I need to say. Why do I need to get off the radio? He should have said, we've got a team making entry at the rear of the house. Keep the radio clear until we secure. And that way everybody knows that we've got a team entering a danger zone and we may be in a firefight and we don't want you guys talking so we can't put out info. But he just kind of got on and got short and went, stay off the radio. And everyone else is like, other people are like, who the fuck are you? Dude, you worry about what you fucking say on the radio. Don't get on the radio and say, stay off the radio for no fucking reason. And that's how you get these conflicts when you're out there on scenes and people just like, fuck that dude. Why do I care? Had he said, we're about to make entry, everyone would have went, okay, that's cool, man. We need to stay off. He's making entry. We understand why it's critical now. You know, because a lot of people are like, hey, man, we got 3 suspects. We got this at the front. We're just kind of talking to the victims. Why are you guys yelling, get off the radio? We don't even know you're entering. We don't even know what you're doing back there. And now you get on the radio and say, get off the radio. Communication.
Start moving.
Where are we going? Straight through the door?
Here. Hold.
Hold him.
You need to cover that window.
All right, got it.
Very easy when you have multiple people to all concentrate on the door. This is the fatal funnel. Obviously, anybody that comes out of the house, they got to enter here. But when you don't have windows and other things secured and you might have armed people, they could be in there waiting to snipe you when you come up. So him saying, hey, somebody carry this window. Who's got this window? Same way you walk in a room. Once you walk in his room, it's like, who's got this door? Who's got the kitchen? Who's got the stairwell? You have to assign things. Otherwise, everybody will be scanning everything and somebody can sneak in and jump out on you.
Is that a person?
No. Got the window, Watch the crossbar going across the house. Get behind me, dude. Stay on that window.
Nobody has discussed or talked about, do we have all the victims or do we have any outstanding victims? That should have been a key question before you enter. because you want to know that there's friendlies in there or that there is no friendlies. Therefore, if we got all the friendlies and everybody says they're accounted for, anybody we encounter, we know is a bad guy. So to me, there's still a 17-year-old little girl in here because we ain't heard shit from them. And they don't know what happened, and they ain't run out because it's chaos. And they don't know who's winning and who's losing. So they're going to stay hidden until normally they see a uniform and you go, hey, police, I got you. Come with me.
Everything I can see, sir.
Hold.
Standing in this doorway, not the greatest move. Get in or get out. Now, because there's windows here, you can't really be parallel here. I don't know what's on the other side of the door. I didn't see it. Let me go back and see if it shows it. I still don't know what it says. Okay. I don't know if that's another door, but there's a window. So it's hard to stack up on either side of this window. But if you're going to enter, then enter. Don't stand outside it because you're standing in a fatal funnel. Either get in or get out. You should have had a plan before you got there. You ready? Follow me. I'm in first. Let's go. I'm going right. You go left. Whatever. Make some sort of plan, but get in the freaking door.
Everything I can see, sir.
Hold. Send me a couple more people to the 3 side now.
So obviously, this is the 3 side. I'm not sure how they're talking the 3 side, if that's the rear or if that's the 3-point corner. He's using it like everybody knows what the 3 side is.
Lead. Slow.
When I saw this, I was like, what kind of bullshit tyranny is this? Florida passes a freaking law that says body cam video inside a private residence is confidential. Guess what that law says to me? That says we don't have to show you what our cops do once they enter your house. That's the whole damn purpose of a body cam, is to keep you motherfuckers in check. And now Florida passes a law that says cops can go in your house and beat the shit out of you. And because it's a private residence, it's now confidential. Are you fucking kidding me? What kind of law is that? I thought Florida was conservative somewhat. That is a bullshit freaking law. Anyway, that really pissed me off when I heard this. Now all we get's audio, but...
Slow. Oh, open that closet. Hold right there. I got it. Get back. No kid. Go that side.
What's really lacking in this clearing is the identifying of police. If you have friendlies in there, you want them to know you're the police so they don't think the bad guy. If somebody's hiding and they have armed themselves and you're running around opening doors and pointing guns in there, they're probably going to react and shoot you, and then you're going to shoot them because they don't know you're the cops. Freaking announce. That was the biggest pet peeve of mine. If I was clearing and I didn't hear other people yelling, I was the only guy yelling, police, coming in, police, show me your hands. You need to freaking talk when you're clearing houses. You don't want to get shot by a friendly, and you don't want to shoot a friendly, and you want to make sure everybody knows. And yes, the disadvantage is the bad guys knows where you're at and what you're doing, but that's better than freaking getting shot by friendly fire or killing an innocent person because they didn't know you were the freaking cops.
How did this door get locked?
Hey, sweetie, come here.
We got the
You're okay. We're the police. I promise.
This guy says we're the law enforcement. A little girl don't want to hear law enforcement. And nowadays, I'm not even sure if a little girl wants to hear the police. Shit. I'd be telling my kid, if you heard the police, you need to be fearful. You need to be just as fearful as guys at home invasion. They're just wearing different uniforms. So, fucking be careful. But anyway, anytime I got a kid, if I contacted a kid on a call like this, I immediately snagged that kid and I was out. I'm gone. I've got a kid. I'm getting her the hell out of here. She don't need to be here if it goes bad. We don't need to sit around and discuss. I don't need to explain shit. Come with me, sweetie. I'd scoop them up and carry them the hell out of that house and get them to safety. I don't care what goes on. The guys in there are armed. There's other cops. You know, sometimes be like, dude, man, you just grabbed that kid and left. What the fuck? I go, I don't give a shit. I don't want this kid in this freaking house with a bunch of guns and bad guys. We're clearing the freaking house. She don't need to be here. Snag that kid and get him the hell out. And don't worry about the other cops and all this officer safety bullshit. Get the damn kid out of there. If it was your kid, you'd want it out of there. So when you run across a kid in a hostile situation, get him the hell out of there. So I thought they were a little slow. They were talking. They're still carrying. They don't even know if there's still a guy in there with a freaking gun that's going to come out and start blasting everybody. And they're in there talking. Snag a kid and get him out. We can work on the community relations and calming the kid down later. Right now, I'm hauling ass with the kid. Done it many times. Sometimes I got shit. A lot of times it's like, hey, good move on a kid. You got her out of the danger zone. So, whatever.
You're okay. Come here. Get out of here. Come here. Come here. Get the kid out. Here, watch out. You're okay, sweetie. Oh.
I think I heard somebody say, get the kid out. Good job.
You're okay, sweetie. You're okay. You're okay.
I really want my parents.
You're okay, baby.
This was the hardest thing for me, is hearing kids crying like that.
Come here. Just stay right here for me. You're okay. What's your name? They're all okay. I sure they're all okay. I promise you. Lieutenant, where's the family?
I just want my family.
I think I see the kid walking around here. Again, nobody has snagged her up. She looks small enough to me to be snagged up from her voice. She'd be in my arms and we'd be out of there. And I'd be taking her to her family.
You got her, sir?
Okay, so this guy kind of hands it off to Lieutenant. I think, Lieutenant, you got her or whatever. So he hands off the kid, which I'm okay because he's a tactical mediator. He wants to get back in and finish clearing. I'm okay with that. He got the kid out.
So we wanted to give you a present for being a really strong girl tonight, okay? So we got a purple little My Little Pony for you, alright? And that's for being a really strong girl today.
Thank you so much.
No problem, right?
Oh, how cute. What you say?
And here for you parents for running out of the garage with your hands and not checking on your child, here's a little bag of coal for you guys. Rick, they were scared. You can't be. All right, whatever. This is a great tactical learning situation to me. These scenes are chaotic, and these things I tend to cut cops some slack. Most people who know me, I usually don't cut them slack. In this situations, mistakes that are minor. Look, this is what the Supreme Court is talking about when they talk about highly volatile, highly rapidly evolving situation that incurs danger and all the wording that they use. These are the situations that they're talking about. And this is when cops make mistakes, we got to give them a benefit of the doubt because it ain't a perfect situation. And you can't train accidents and problems like this. I know there's going to be some idiot here. Well, that's why cops need more training. And if all cops just went to training for 10 years, they would be perfect and we would be safe and then government would be really good. Yeah, okay. You keep with that theory. Just keep giving government more money until they can send every government employee for, a 20-year college degree, and then we'll have perfect government. Yeah, that's the answer. More money and more training always fixes the incompetence of years of government idiocy. Perfect. All right, we'll end that there.
All right, Mama? We're really proud of you, okay? All right, baby.